I don't know about you, but I don't only create art in the studio. For me, art is a lifestyle. And I just love to sketch wherever I am. I love to sketch if I'm running around town, and I definitely love to sketch when I travel. And right now I am getting ready to take a 3-week trip to Japan, and I'm going to be taking my personally curated travel sketch kit. This is something that took me almost a year to figure out, and you are about to be the benefactor of it, because in this video I'm going to share everything that is in my travel sketch kit, including what I carry it in and how I deal with things like liquid restrictions and carry-on luggage, and how I make sure I have enough paint and ink to last me for the whole trip. And also be sure you stick around to the end, because after I show you everything, I'm going to come back here and I'm going to show you how this kit functions when you're out touring, whether you're sitting down somewhere or whether you're standing up and just catching a quick impression. So in case you don't know, my name is Brett Renee. I'm an artist, and welcome to my channel. So let's head back to the studio and I'll show you everything. Okay, so before we get started, I just wanted to say that I'm going to list all of these materials in the description box in case there's something you want to go get for yourself. And I'm going to switch over to my overhead so you can see everything up close. So the first thing I'm going to show you is my palette. So I got this palette on Amazon. It was not expensive. It holds a lot of paint. You can see there's wells all through here. And then I bought these on Amazon as well, so I'd have some extra double wells so I could add even more paint if I wanted to. And this thing folds up to almost nothing, which is great. It's not thick. And it's super lightweight, and it has a lot of wells. So I've got 5 here and I've got 4 here. So there's plenty of space for me to paint. I actually use this one in the studio as well as when I'm traveling. I love it so much. So I'm going to go ahead and pop my colors up on the screen just so you can see what I'm working with. I have my cool colors on one side and my warm colors on the other, and then I've got some neutrals spread throughout. I find this is really easy, an easy way to work, easy way to find what I'm looking for. And I will go ahead and put those in this description box as well. So that's my palette. So the next thing I'm going to show you is my journal. So this is a Stillman and Birn. It's cold pressed paper. It's not quite 140 pounds, but it's really good paper and it's pretty darn close. You can see I did my little title page because I'm going to Japan, and I wanted to test the paper out too, and I found out I really like it. So it's a good size. You can use this as you could do double, you could use the whole thing, or you can just do one side and you could write notes. And there's lots of pages in here, and it's pretty thin and lightweight. So this is a great journal. The other thing I like to bring sometimes are loose pieces of paper. These are Arches paper that I just tore up, or extra paper I had lying around the studio. And it's great because I take this board, this is an 8x8 board, and it fits easily into my purse. And then I also have lots of these clips. I always carry these so that I can do things like this. I can just hook that on there, and if I decide I want to work loose, I don't have to worry about the paper slipping around. This board also is really great if I just want to put it on my lap, and maybe I want to put my palette on it and open it up and paint right on my lap where I'm sitting somewhere. So these are some nice things to have, and they're very small and portable. Okay, the next thing I'm going to show you are my brushes. So I don't bring that many. This is my Davinci Dartana spin brush. I love this brush. It does not come in a travel version, which I wish it did, because I have to worry about protecting the tip when I travel, but I'll show you how I do it. I wrap it up really well, and I haven't had a problem. I've traveled with it a lot, and I just love this brush, and this is my main brush. The next brush I have is this Davinci brush, but this one actually is a travel brush. It's a size 12, so if I want to do bigger washes, it does hold a lot of water, and it also does have a nice tip as well, and so that one is great for travel. This brush is a water brush, so what you do is you put water inside of it, and then you close it up like that. It's got a decent tip on it, and you just squeeze and water comes through the tip, and you don't actually need to have like a separate well of water. You could just paint with this. This is best for just quick washes, you know, just kind of tinting your pieces rather than doing any major painting, but it's great when you're on the go and you just don't want to worry about a cup of water nearby. And this last little brush I bring is just to add some gouache. Sometimes I do that, so I don't use this for my watercolors, and I'll get into that in a minute.
Okay, so speaking of water, I bring these. I bring a spray bottle, and then I bring this bottle. So these, I think I just got them at Target. They're super cheap. So what I do with this is important. So when I go to the airport, this is empty. Then once I go through security, if I think I'm gonna wanna paint while I'm on the plane or just sitting in the airport, I'll go fill it up. And this is, I just use to wake up the paints. Basically, I just spray all the paints and then they're ready to go. It's also great for cleanup. So if I've got some paint left in the well and I don't want it spilling all over the place, I'll just spray that down and wipe it up. Okay, and then this one, I'll just, again, this is empty when I go to the airport, and then I might fill it up. And this is what I would use as my cup of water. It's super portable and it is small. So, I mean, if it gets dirty fast, then I carry another water bottle with me and I'll just dump this and refill it. It's not a big deal. Okay, so now I'm going to get into my drawing implements. So I carry this mechanical pencil. It's a really good one. It actually is self-sharpening. You just hit that. It's easy. I love this pencil. That's the only pencil I bring. And then I also bring a kneaded eraser. I rarely use this, but it's good to have it in case, you know, you're on the plane drawing and someone elbows you and you have a big accident and you want to erase it. So there's those two things. And I do keep this in a plastic bag because it's sticky and it gets lost and it gets stuck to things, and this just makes it a lot easier to find it and keep it clean. Okay, so let's talk about pens. So I use my fountain pens all the time for drawing. That's what I like to use. So I have this Lamy Safari pen, and then I have this Sailor pen. This one's from Japan. And what I like about this one is it has kind of a, I don't know if you can see, a little bit of a bent tip. And so you can get these really thick lines, or you can do some really thin, expressive lines. And then this one has just a number 2 small tip, and both of them are filled with carbon ink. So here's the thing. I will get on the plane with these full, and sometimes I do wrap them up in plastic wrap just to avoid them spilling or getting on anything, although I've rarely had a problem with that. But it's good to even just to put a little plastic wrap around here, or even on the tip inside before you get on the plane. And then I also bring this with me. So this is just a little container I found at Hobby Lobby, honestly. And I filled it with my carbon ink, which is what I use in these pens. I have converters in them and I fill them up. So if I run out of ink, I can use this ink. There's a lot of ink in here. It's unlikely I would, even if I did a ton of sketching every day, that I'm gonna run out of ink in both the pens and then refill them and use all this ink up. Now, the thing about this is you do not want this spilling. It would be a huge mess. I've not had a problem with this leaking, but I'm always really careful. So I'll take some plastic wrap and I'll put it just around there, and then I'll wrap the whole thing up in plastic wrap. And because this is a liquid, this is gonna go in my quart-sized plastic bag to go through TSA. So maybe I'm bringing a little bit less lotion with me, but I have my ink, which I like. Okay, so now I'm gonna talk about my other pens. So these are Faber-Castell Pitt Artist pens. They're just great if I just wanna do more ink work. So I have a bunch of colors of these. I do take this gray one all the time for shadows. It's great. And I do take the black one if there's anything I want to do some really thick, emphatic lines. The rest of these I might take, I might not take, depending on where I'm going. But it's nice if I just want to do more ink work and have some colors. Then I also bring this Koi brush pen, which is also, it's a little bit lighter than this gray, and it's not quite entirely waterproof, so it does blend with the paints, which is kind of fun. And this one I just use for shading as well. Then I bring these micron pens, okay? So these two I bring just in case I want to draw in a different color. This one's gray, this one's burnt sienna, and that's a lot of fun. This one I bring because it's a really tiny tip. So if I just like want to maybe do a little detail like numbers on an address, for instance, that's really small, just any kind of small detail, it's nice to have this pen. It works great. This is my Uniball Siglo pen, or Signo, and I love this pen because it's just white gel pen. And this way, if I want to do some white detail and I've already covered it up with paint, I can just do it with this, as long as it's something small. But it's great for little details, and this is something I always bring with me. Now these pens These are my backup pens, okay? This is a Tombow Fudenosuke. I should learn some more Japanese since I'm going to Japan. Fudenosuke. This is great for drawing. It's got a nice tip on it. So I will bring this in case I run out of ink and I can't use my fountain pens, or if I just don't want to use my fountain pen, maybe I just want to use one of these. I generally gravitate to the fountain pens, but you never know, sometimes this might be easier. Same thing with these. I've got these in 2 different sizes. These are pentel point liners. They're pretty standard pens. They're great for drawing. Nothing extraordinary, not as fun as my fountain pens, but they do the job. And again, if I was running out of ink or I just couldn't find my fountain pen and I had these, I would draw with these. Okay, so the last 2 things I'm going to show you, and these aren't really necessary, but these are things that I like to bring. So this is zinc white gouache, and I just use this basically if I've been painting away and I didn't save the white space I wanted to save and I want to add it back in. I've got a little bit of this. It's just like a transparent white, so it's not going to provide that thick of a coverage, but sometimes it just does the trick, or it's great for just little highlights. Something about this though, it really is a bit of a liquid, but I have never put it in my liquid bag. I always keep it with all my pens and stuff, and I've never been stopped at TSA, but be aware that it could happen. I'm hoping it doesn't. The other thing I bring is a little roll of washi tape. Now, I could carry a glue stick as well. Sometimes I do if I think I might be doing a little bit of collaging while I'm gone. But generally the washi tape is just enough. Like if I find a ticket stub or just something I just want to put into my journal, I'll just paste it in there with the tape. And the last thing I bring are a bunch of rags. You can see I've been using this one. These are just like t-shirt material rags. I find them at Home Depot. Like I just buy a big bag of them. They're pretty cheap. And they last a while. Like they hold a lot of paint. You could even wash them and use them again, although they don't go white again. And so I also use these to wrap up my brush, and I'm going to show you that in a minute. So now I'm going to show you how I put this all together. So I use this purse. It's a Baggalini, and I love this purse. I've tried a bunch of different purses for travel, and this one is the best because it has all these compartments and different places to put things. It's lightweight. It has a really nice, comfortable, adjustable strap, and it's not an expensive bag, and it comes in a lot of different colors. It's really nice, and it smashes down to almost nothing. So when I get on the plane, I don't carry a purse because you're only allowed your main carry-on bag and your other little bag, right? So my other little bag is the bag with my computer and my art supplies and things. So this I pack in my carry-on bag, and it doesn't take up much space. And then when I get to my destination, I will take this out and I will fill it up with my art supplies so that I am ready to go tour and sketch. So what I do is take my palette. That goes in this, there's a nice pocket here, and this fits perfectly. I just put that in there. Then I take my journal and my loose paper. If I'm taking loose paper, I might stick it in the journal so it doesn't get damaged. And my board, and I put these in the main compartment. They fit great. Now for the pens, I put all of these in this little school bag. I mean, I bought this years ago. It's just, back to school bag. Works great. And I'll just throw these in here. And then I can also throw this brush because it's not going to, the tip's protected. And also my travel brush. I can undo that and put that away. And that can go in this bag. My pencil and my eraser. All of this goes in this bag. It's really easy and accessible. And then I put it in the main compartment of the purse. Now these brushes, so I have to protect the tip of these brushes. So what I do is I take a couple of rags and I just lay the brushes kind of diagonal in there, and then I just wrap it really tight in the rag, and I take a rubber band. This is real ghetto solution here. And this holds it together, and I just stick it way down into the bag. I don't know if you can see in the bottom of the bag where the tip is protected, and I've never had any damage from the tip. It seems to work really well. And then I can just slip it out whenever I get to where I'm going and ready to use it. In the front here, so this compartment that zips, I put extra things. So I put my clips, I put my washi tape, which I don't use that often, and my gouache, which I also don't use that often. And those go in there. My water bottle and my spray bottle are going to go in this side, which is great because then to get them, it's really easy to get access to them. There's also a nice little space here behind there where I can put like an extra rag. So if I just don't want to unwrap the rags that are around my brushes, I can just grab one right here and use it. Now, so that's how that goes. So this all gets put together, and then I put this on, and I'm ready to walk around the world and paint things. Now, the other thing I bring is a water bottle, and I found this little water bottle carrier that you can wear. I know it's a little geeky, but it's so much easier because then I can have my hands free. And this is really great. You want to stay hydrated, and especially if you're walking around somewhere hot. And if I run out of water in here, I can just dump it, and I can take water out of here and put it back in here. So it makes it really easy. And that's my portable studio for travel. So I'm going to go head back out to the Rose Garden here near the Santa Barbara Mission, and I'm going to show you how this all works out if I'm sitting down somewhere or if I'm standing. Okay, so the way this kit works is right now I'm standing looking at the Mission Santa Barbara. So let's just say that I wanted to do a quick sketch of it. So I pull out my sketchbook and I open up, and I'm going to grab a pencil. Sometimes I just keep them ready to go right here. And let's just say I'm just going ahead, la 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 la. I'm sketching, and now I'm ready to paint. So I can use this brush, and I don't really have to worry about water. But let's just say I did want to worry about water. First of all, I need my paints, so I grab the paints, and I'm going to open this up. I'm going to take this side, and I'm going to clip it into my journal. And now you can see all my paints are right there, and I'm ready to paint. And I can just hold it up, and now I've got my water right here. I can just open that up. I'll put the cap here, ready side. So I can also, if I need to spray my paints, I've got my spray bottle. I can take that out and spray my paints. And then I've got my water at the ready here. So I just get my brush going, and I can just dip my brush in the paint, and then I'm ready to go. And there we go, and I'm ready to go. And then when it's time to leave, it's really simple. Just take it all apart, wrap everything up, stick my clip on. Brush goes away, paints go away, and I'm off. Okay, so if I'm sitting down somewhere, it's even simpler. I can just grab my board, put that in my lap. So now I have somewhere to put things. I grab my journal. I can go ahead and I can sketch in my journal on here. And when I'm ready to paint, my paints can go right here in my lap. I'm gonna open this up. And I can grab my paintbrush and I can just hold this. The other thing I could do is I could still put this in the journal and clip it in there, and I could put my water out here and really quick. Either way, it's really simple. Everything is really organized in my bag, and then I've got it here, and so when I'm ready to go, it's not a big deal to just pop everything back into my purse, and I'm off to see the next site. I'd like to thank you for joining me today. I hope you got some information that'll help you on your next big adventure. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like or subscribe, and I will see you on the next one.